Everybody, it's Benny. We're here again for another video. It's been a little while, and I just thought I'd touch base and talk about what I've been up to lately. So I started reading David Goggins' book, and I've read it like 3 times now, and kind of got me motivated to get my ass in gear and start giving my all and basically everything I do. I've always had good work ethic, but I think everybody knows we could do a little bit more than we are always. Usually you can do more. So that left me questioning myself quite a bit, to be honest, and just having certain thoughts and recollections of past efforts put in as far as athletic efforts go. I used to be a big runner in high school. I used to run a lot of cross country and track and field. I did that every year, but my final year I did not do track, but I ran cross country, and I used to run a fair amount a week. Granted, it was usually distances under 10 kilometers, but I was running 5-6 days a week, and I hated it. Oh God, I hated it. But I did enjoy running in the woods, and I enjoy how I felt. Once you're warmed up, your joints are warmed up, and you're just floating, right? I love that feeling. So the runner's high. So I got motivated and started reflecting inwards a little bit. I haven't had a phone in a little while, so I'm enjoying that. And to be honest, when I get my phone, I'm gonna keep it the way it is, because I'm becoming more in tune with myself the less I'm distracted by social media and things of that nature. So I'm gonna get to the chase here. Anyways, I decided, I was like, I'm gonna train for a marathon, and I'm gonna run a marathon. So I've been working towards that. I've been training like crazy during this lockdown, like lots of calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and flutter kicks, all that fun stuff. I've been doing that, basically alternating my training days, and the last 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, I've barely had a day off. I've just been going non-stop. Just been feeling pretty good across the board, recovering pretty darn fast, with one exception. So I've done probably about 3 weeks of training, but I only started recording the last 2 weeks or so. But anyways, some of the training I've been doing, and I was looking into how you want to train. Build your aerobic base, run within a certain heart rate. So I've been doing that. My sweet spot's around 140 to 150 for my long run. And most of my runs, actually, unless I'm doing a tempo run, I kind of run in there, and then I tend to fluctuate a little bit. So yeah, I've been basically running those 2 weeks, and then I got a little bit jacked up there. My ankle started bothering me, and so I had no choice but to give it a bit of time off. And then I flew out to BC here, got a bike, because I don't see the point in getting a car, and everything's close by. So I did a little bit of cycling when I was back home in Canada, or in Ontario, but I'm gonna have to leave that in because it's funny. When I was in Ontario, I just did a little bit of cycling before I left for BC, and I've been cycling here a bit, and due to pure boredom, I have been taking it easy though on my foot, because I want to get back to running. But I started biking, and I don't know, I have this burning fire in me. Like I got crazy motivated the past 2 weeks, and then there's this, I don't know, there's a forest fire, this is blazing inferno in me now, and maybe it was always there. Well, it had to have been always there, and I'm just like ultra focused. That was not a pun intended. Ultra focused on just getting this marathon done, and then moving on to bigger goals. So I'm injured, I'm biking, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go for 100K because it sounds like a lot that sounds like an achievement, right? It sounds like quite a long ride. And I went for it the other day, the night before the ride. I had some fruit, a few apples, a handful of dates, and carrots and rutabaga. So that was my carb up. I typically don't eat a lot of carbs, so just feel better with lower carbs in my diet, quite honestly. So that was my carb up, and then I had that around 7 o'clock. I think we finished around 7, which is way later than I typically eat. But and then I got up at 7 and went for my ride. I think I left around 7:30. So I was roughly 12 hours fasted once I began my ride, and the only fuel I took was water and salt pills, and that was that ride was 93 kilometers, so I fell short because I mucked my math up. My watch was in miles. So it was 4 hours and 39 minutes. My average heart rate was 125. It was higher at certain points, but I wasn't sure how hard I should push it because, one, I was fasted and I didn't bring any fuel with me other than like the electrolyte pills. So I didn't know. I was like waiting for myself to hit this wall, but I never did. So that gave me some confidence in my body's ability to do some serious miles, and to to push it a little bit harder next time. And it was down the rail trail, so it was fairly. It's not that smooth. Like it's not really meant for road bikes, but it can be done. My road bike's pretty good. It's an old Norco. I'll include a video here of it. It's awesome. Paid $400 for it. And so I went down the rail trail, and pretty good run. Didn't hit this pretty good ride. Sorry, didn't hit this wall that they speak of, but it was interesting. It was eye opening. No one on the trails, of course. It was just me and the Douglas fir trees, and it was nature. It was amazing. I love it here. So that ride was good. That gave me a bit of hunger, and I was ticked that I didn't make it to 100K, like that I messed my math up. So that kind of left me blue-balled, so to speak. And I was sitting around. The next day I went to do an upper body workout, and I just had no energy, no gas in the tank. And then I believe I had a day off after that. What did I do? No, I didn't. So I did my 100K. I had my lack thereof 100K, 93K. Did an upper body workout. And then that night I was sitting around and I just thought, screw this, I'm doing 100 miles. That's loads more. And I was thinking to myself during my 100K ride, holy cow, people run 100 miles, and I still can't fathom that. People run that distance, inside. There's some people that have done it inside a day, around a flat track, right? Zach Bitter's the world record holder, I believe. Maybe it's broken by someone else, but last time I checked, it was him. And I have this massive amount of admiration and appreciation for the effort and the pure drive that people have, that they can do something like that. It's just mind blowing. So I was like, I want to try 100 miles on my bike. So I mapped out a route, and looking at the map, looking at the grade, there's a little chart that shows the elevation, the gain, and I'm in BC, remember. I underestimated the elevation gain, and oh my god, I blew up. I never once really stopped for a long period of time. I think the longest time I stopped was maybe 7 minutes at the gas station to get Gatorade and a fruit drink thing. But I hammered up the hills as much as I could, and then I walked up the hills that were, some of these hills were 1.5 kilometers long, like, I shit you not, S-bend, just straight up. It was crazy. So, you know, it was a real eye-opener and a wake-up call to really study the route a bit more. I also didn't have my phone, so I just used the Google Maps app on my I almost said camera. Google Maps on my computer, and wrote it down the steps, and I taped them to my handlebars, and everything went well. I got lost once. I missed my turn. There was the signage here isn't as big as in Ontario. That's my excuse, at least. And I missed my turn, and I went about 1 kilometer. Well, no, probably 3 kilometers the wrong way. So that's like, you know, 5 to 6 kilometers total extra that I subtracted that anyways, and just turned around sooner than I would have. So you just use my watch. I got this nice Garmin watch, not sponsored, not good enough for that yet. So I used that to track my heart rate and all that stuff. So yeah, it was beautiful, amazing ride. I ended up doing 100 miles in 7.5 hours. So I actually went a little bit more just because I wanted to make sure. I went 161.7 kilometers, which is slightly over. It's about 1 kilometer over what I needed to do, just shy of that. My average speed was 21.3 kilometers per hour. It's only that high probably because all the hills, I had to walk up some, but I also ripped down some of them. And I consistently tried to push, just stay spinning, you know, keep the wheel spinning, keep pushing. And my max speed was just under 60 kilometers an hour. I burnt 3,841 calories on the ride, which is pretty cool. This interesting to see. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's, you know, 7.5 hours is a long time to be on a bike. My average heart rate too is 140, so it's a little bit, well, I guess not really, no, it's pretty much in the sweet spot as well. So it was cool to see that even though there was so many hills, it planed out to be around 140. My TE was 5.0, not sure what that is. Maybe threshold or something about efficiency or energy, I'm not sure, I gotta look into it. So for my hydration and nutrition on the ride, I'm new to this, right? So I'm kind of learning as I go. So this is why I recorded everything for next time. So I drank 2 full Camelbacks, which is about 4 liters, I'm thinking. I'm not sure the capacity of my Camelback. Took 8 salt pills and 7 gels. So that was what I brought with me. Basically every half hour after my first hour, I didn't use any salt or nutrition for the first hour. But after the first hour, I had a salt pill every half hour, and then on the hour I had a gel. So that worked out to be about 7 gels. I brought 8, but I used 7. And I know, like, whoa, you get a wicked boost from these things. Maybe it's a placebo, but noticeable. I tried to keep my liver topped off, right? Not to go too far. You don't want to. I think that's finding that sweet spot where you don't go too far into your liver glycogen and run into you burn your liver glycogen up, and then you save your muscle glycogen. I mean, maybe this doesn't happen, but this is my hypothesis of what goes down when you just you slowly add the carbs in it just when you need them. And I feel like I'm very efficient at burning fat. My 93K bike ride was completely fasted, so, and I mean, it was pretty darn good. I didn't push it super hard, and I trained fasted all the time. So anyways, yeah, the other things I took on that ride were 1 fruit drink at the gas station because I ran out of water, so I'd top up with water, and I put a Gatorade in my Camelback. All that sugar is probably not necessary. I could have skipped the Gatorade, but I noticed I handle the sugar pretty well. A lot of people don't typically. I've heard that from marathon runners and ultra marathon runners on the internet, that the sugar bothers them sometimes. So maybe these specific, I'm doing these stinger packages. It's just honey and a few other ingredients. They didn't seem to bother my stomach. So I did get nauseous though one time. Probably about 6 hours in, I almost threw up. The heat started really, it started getting really hot, and I took a gel, and then about maybe 3 minutes later, I almost yacked. It's just the heat hit me all of a sudden, and I just got crazy nauseous. So, all in all, 100 miles for my first time. That's probably a pretty slow time, 7.5 hours. I haven't really looked into that yet. What a decent time is, but I mean, I'll once I get my phone back, I'll post up. I need to get my Strava going again. I'll post up that route I did. Hopefully it's saved. It's on my watch, so hopefully I can put on my watch to my phone and then transfer it so everybody could see it. But it was freaking ridiculous amount of hills, man. For me, they just killed me. So anyways, it was a good challenge, and I recovered pretty fast. I'm already feeling pretty good today. Gonna take probably tomorrow off, and then get up early before I work and start pounding some more miles. We'll see how I'm feeling. I want to get back to running, so I might take a few days off or even a week off just so I could start running again, because I want my main goal is this marathon, and then obviously got some bigger goals after that. But yeah, this is just what I use for my recording, my stats for my runs and things of that nature. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and just remember, I'm figuring this out myself right now, that you are capable of far more than you can even imagine. No, that's cheesy, and we might already know this, but keep telling yourself that. It could be physical, mental, spiritual. There's all kinds of amazing things you can do if you put your mind towards it. Stay humble, and just be positive, and wake up every day feeling grateful, and good things will happen to you. Alright, I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Take care, everybody. Peace.